Welcome to StormX Writers Cafe, where we share the real writer's life over a cup of friendship, sprinkled with laughter and wisdom. My name is LaShaunda Hoffman, and I'm your host for today. This episode is sponsored by Virtual Tea with LaShaunda Promotion Strategy Session. Today's podcast is about how to sell ebooks. Our guests today are Sylvia Hubbard and Kenesha Williams. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
I am excited to have you here because I want to learn how to sell ebooks. And so we're going to start with Sylvia to tell us a little bit about yourself and your books, please.
Okay, so I am an award-winning best-selling author of over 40 romance suspense novels. I've been published since 2000, and there, of course, the half and half of ebooks and paperback books, and has just been spreading the knowledge about, how to market, write, and publish books, especially about ebooks. And, you can find me. Okay, go ahead.
My name is Kenesha Williams, and I am a indie author as well as a small publisher for Black Girl Magic Literary Magazine, which is a collection of short stories from different authors sending in stories in the speculative fiction realm. So I also have a few pen names that I don't leak out where I sell ebooks as well.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Well, I am about to release my second book. I'm a little excited about it. It's totally different from my first book. A little bit. It's still about promotion, so just a little bit. But it's a coloring book. And so I didn't even realize that I was going to get some information from my chef today, so I'm all excited. What I would like to know, my first question is, all right, so I'm about to release my book. What advice would you offer to me before I hit the release button?
There's a lot of checklists that are out there that authors can literally download about, releasing your book. The best checklist I've seen as a beginning author, especially if you have no idea what to do or you just need some kind of guidance. Elizabeth S. Craig, and you can even type her name in. Elizabeth S. Craig does this great 20-point checklist up to a month prior to a release, including your social medias, what to send out in your newsletter, who to hit up for, extra promotion. And every step she has, the majority of them are all free. And that I love that checklist because it kind of keeps you in focus of what you need to do. So I would check out Elizabeth S. Craig book release checklist. If you can type that up in Google, you can find it.
All right, took that down. What about you, Kenesha?
I think the first thing I would say is, do you have a mailing list? Because I think the mailing list is so powerful when you're releasing a book. And if you don't have a mailing list yet, before I would hit publish, I would get a preview of my book up on Instafreebie. If you go to Instafreebie.com, you can put up either a full book if you're giving away a free book, or you can put up a couple of chapters of your book and get readers that are interested in your genre to sign up for your mailing list so that when you do release, you can release the full book to a willing and waiting audience.
Oh, I love that tip. That was a great one. I had never thought about that one. Yes, I have a mailing list. I have a mailing list. I'm the mailing list queen. I do not recommend promoting without a mailing list. So, yes, I have a mailing list. What mistakes do you see a new author do when they release their books?
They don't make an Amazon Author Central page. That's the one of the most I'd say top 5 of mistakes that a lot of authors make, that they don't go to the authorcentral.amazon.com and then make themselves an author page and connect their blog, connect their social media, and add a bio and books to those pages. Because when you're sending readers over to Amazon, and I hate when they do this, and I'm sure Kenesha has had this problem where they just say, oh, just go to Amazon.com and find my book. And you're just sending somebody who is connected to a credit card to kind of go into like an addicting place. By the time they find your book, they're going to be broke. They're not going to have the money to buy your book. So being able to give them a direct link directly to their store where they have hardly no distractions to buy anything else except what they went in for has been it's been the worst mistake they've made when they just say go to Amazon.com. You want to take them directly to a page. Hit that button.
I think I'm going to go with Sylvia's too. That's frustrating. Also, if I pick up one of your books and I go to click on the link for your name and you don't have an author page, then I'm kind of disappointed because I don't want to have to search for all of your other books. It's so easy because you're taking them, like Sylvia said, to one page that can capture them with a listing of every book you have. When you go into Author Central, you can claim all the books that you have on Amazon either through the title or through your ASIN, and it'll all show up on the page. On mine, I have a picture of me at conferences, so you can kind of like get a sneak peek into the author's life. If they have a blog attached, it'll have their blog postings up. And yeah, I see a lot of new authors forget about that. They either don't know about it, and I don't think that. I think the fact that it's different than your KDP dashboard for Amazon confuses some authors because it's not intuitive. You kind of have to have somebody tell you that. But, yeah, I'm going with Sylvia.
And you can even add videos. So if you have book trailers, you can even add those. So, I mean, it's a great tool. It's an easy tool to have. And, I mean, I tell people, stop not using it because it's, not only books, but everything they need for their house or gifts that they want. I mean, yes, you're asking them for like $2.99, but man, there are other deals that they could use that money for, and you don't want that distraction. You want to try to get them to the book as fast as possible.
That was actually one of my questions I was going to ask you because I meet so many authors who don't have an Amazon page, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. What do you think makes a good Amazon page? What should they have on it? What are 3 top things you think they should have on there?
Books, of course, all of their books. And they can even include anthologies they're a part of. A lot of people don't know that. Like if you're a part of an anthology, you can include that book. You should have a great bio and make sure it's in third person. For some reason, those first person bios really turn me off, and you want to make sure you have great keywords, tag words in your bio, so then they'll link great authors to you. And then you definitely want to have your social media attached to that, and you want to make sure that you have a blog links in there. Please put blog links or in there, those RSS feeds inside of there, because you're keeping it up to date and it stays relevant in the Amazon search as something's up to date, instead of you come in there and try to change it every day or every month. You can actually stay up to date by keeping those blog links on that page.
I think Sylvia kind of definitely encompassed what I would say. One of the other things that I would say that's really important as a reader, but also as an author too, is on your Amazon author page, it has customers also bought items by, and it has a list of other authors who people buy books like yours. So it's another way to market later. If you're marketing for Amazon ads, you can copy the names of those authors that people buy that also buy your books and use them as as like keywords for your ads too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I never heard that tip. That's a good one. I wrote it down. That's a good one. My questions are keywords. Let's talk about keywords because a lot of people don't understand keywords, and if you can explain them, that would be very helpful because I meet a lot of authors when I go look at their stuff that they want me to promote, and so I go back and check out because I like to know where their standings are in Amazon, and they don't have keywords. So they have no standing, and they don't even realize they have no standing because they don't understand what keywords are. And so I have to explain it to some of them if they're my clients. You go, you know what? You don't have your book listed under anything. And they're like, oh, some of them, the publisher puts it up there like that. So I would love for you to explain keywords if you can explain that a little bit.
Well, keywords are basically meta tags that you can use inside of descriptions and so forth. So your keywords, you should use keywords that not are the general keywords. So if I write erotic, then yes, I'm going to use the word erotic, but you want to try to get like subwords to that. So romance, dark romance, even going down to the BDSM, if you do that, you want to get those certain keywords down into your description to kind of trigger the algorithm to get better search results. So you want to be using keywords and sub-keywords to kind of, this is what you write, and you want to trigger them to kind of find you. And a lot of times it's so many engines that you can use now to find your keywords, but a lot of times people say, well, I don't want to go into those engines, or sometimes they're paid and they don't understand the directions. But if you want to look for your keywords, find at least 3 authors that you write like, look at their bios or look how they set up their descriptions, and then go from there.
And I would add that also keywords help you show up in the different categories that Amazon has, and they can also help with your ranking because if you choose keywords in a niche that's a little bit smaller, you can have a higher ranking and higher visibility when people are searching for that. Like I know an author, I'm reading one of her books right now, her name is Aja Cole, and she has her things under sports romance. Well, the male main character is a hockey player, but it's not like a lot of him out on the rink or anything like that. But she's ranked so high in sports romances because she really niched down with her keywords. And so that gives her visibility a boost because instead of being hidden by all these other romances, because, I mean, romance is a huge category.
Right.
If you go to sports romance, she's on the first page of the top 100 bestsellers. So really focusing your keywords can help you get into smaller categories, which can help your ranking and help your visibility, too, as an author.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. We've had big conversations about niching down. Just make sure you niche down into the right categories. Because some people just put themselves in stuff so they can be the top 100, and that's wrong.
That bothers me.
Right.
It bothers me too. If you're not romance and you got yourself over in romance, no.
Well, I'm
sports romance is a different thing. She's talking about sports, so yes, she can niche herself to that sport. But we have people who niche themselves in romance. They're the top 100, and they have nothing to do with romance. And that's what's coming up in the feed.
Yeah, that's a big pet peeve of mine because especially in African-American romance, there is a lot that is not romance. If you know what the real expectations are of a romance reader, and that's a happily ever after, the main characters usually are there's no infidelity between the two of them, although there can be some in the past, or if they can add an extra person because that's a whole nother category. But what an actual romance is. There's a lot of urban books that are in romance that are not necessarily romances. They may have romantic elements to them, but they're like the first page, almost the whole first page if you look in African American romance. And I don't know if that's Amazon's fault or if it's author's fault, because I kind of think
it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both, because Amazon doesn't police it. And so people, they know that if a lot of people just want to be in the top 100, they don't care what it is. They just want to be in the top 100. They can say they're a best-selling author. And so that's why they can go in there and niche themselves into the African-American romances when they're urban and they have nothing to do with it. And then they get offended when someone says something to them, but it's like you're taking slots that belong to people who actually are in that field, So, that's one of my big pet peeves on that, because I do a lot of searching, and you go in there looking for new authors, and that has nothing to do with what I'm looking for. So, yeah. My one issue that I see with new authors is pricing. Do you have any tips on how to price your book?
For beginning authors, I always say go with the market. Look at, research what other authors are charging, especially in your genre, and then go from there. For ebooks, definitely, when you're coming out with ebooks, the pricing does differ a lot, where you should start it at, as an introductory price, especially if you're a first-time author. No one's ever read you, and you have a semi-decent mailing list. I'm going with semi-decent. You want to start with like at least $2.99 to $3.99 as your introductory, and then you want to move it. As you're coming out with more books, you can either move that price up or down depending upon the popularity of the book. If the book is a series and you come out with the second or third book, you want to move that first book down to free, which Mark Coker of Smashwords says that has been the best sellings of series. Once that book goes into the second and third series, if you make your first book free, you'll get better sales for your second and third book.
One of my gripes is that a lot of people are training readers to think that an ebook should be 99 cents. Because there's a lot of people pricing 99 cents, and I understand maybe for your first book, maybe if it's a short story or a novella, and maybe if it's the first one in your series, if you can't do free, like if you're in Kindle Unlimited, you can't do free, because to do free it has to, like Amazon won't do free unless you're free on other platforms. It's weird, but I think a lot of readers are expecting all books to be 99 cents, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think that all authors should band together and say we are not going to price a book under $2.99 unless it is like a loss leader for the first one of our series to get people in, because I think a lot of authors are devaluing their work with the 99-cent price model, and I do it too with intro books. Just for people that don't know me, I do a 99-cent thing, but I think that we've trained a lot of readers to expect all ebooks to be 99 cents.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that, and I will help you with the band. As a person who is now a published author, you don't make your money back on a 99-cent book. You just don't. If you're new and you're trying to, recoup what you put into your book, a 99-cent will not make it. It's not. You're going to be getting those, I call it the Starbucks royalty checks, and then you go to anger and pissed off, and then you say, you know what, I'm not writing anymore. These readers don't appreciate me. But you put out a 99-cent book, so yeah, most of them aren't going to come. You're either going to get the group of readers who say, 99 cents must not be about nothing, and they go past it. And then you'll get the group that's 99 cents, and they buy it, but they never read it because they don't have anything invested in it, and if you do your research when you're doing it, you know, this, you can do a 99-cent book. When you got 10 or 15 other books underneath it, before it, you know, yeah, no problem. If that's your first book and you come out with 99 cents, do not be upset if you don't recoup what you put into it, you know. So you definitely have to pay attention to that. Thank you. Those were good tips. All right, so I am going to put the mic over to you guys and see what kind of advice do you have on how to sell ebooks?
Well, as we move closer and closer to 2018, a lot of has been visual in terms of trying to sell just books in general, ebooks and paperback books. And I do push authors towards doing a lot more video in their social media. And also, number two, to go towards offline marketing, it's also like if you have ebooks, try to, you know, offline, make your books available even then. Like you can use QR codes on the back of cards. You can definitely use them to get excerpts from people, QR codes on your business cards, or even making solitary book cards and using QR codes to get people reading your information. A lot of people think, well, I'm just the ebook author, I'm not going to do any offline events. But those are great tips, and I'm always out of the box kind of thing. So, yeah, there's the standard, oh, yeah, you can do this and this and this to sell books. But I always like out of the box kind of things, and that's why I did suggest like QR codes and just doing more video. And it doesn't even take a lot. You can do a 1-minute thing on Instagram and share it on your Twitter and Facebook, you know, on a weekly basis. But you want to get that algorithm and that count up where those visual views are getting you more likes and favors and getting people interested in your work.
I would say I love the idea of video. I've done one video trailer before for one of my pen names, and it was pretty easy. You know, I used some stock images, and I used royalty-free music over it and had, like, some words over it, like, will she get with him? You know, those type of things to entice people. And I do think it worked really well, and I was able to use it for my Facebook ads as well, and I know that I got a lot of traffic from the video ad versus the just static picture ad. So I do think that video is definitely going to be king in 2018. I'm a big fan of using Facebook ads because I like that you can really narrow down who your ideal customer is. When you're targeting your ad, you can target a location. You can target by people's habits. So a lot of times I'll pick people that have Kindles, that watch, you know, Lifetime, you know, stuff like that, stuff that you would think your ideal reader is interested in. So you can really, really, really focus on a certain subset of people, and I think that's really great. And I've had some success with Amazon ads as well. They're not as responsive with getting the metrics as fast as Facebook ads are, but with Amazon ads, you can do, like I was saying before, if there are authors that are in your style or in your genre that are popular, you can use their names as keywords as well as genre language like romance, dark romance, fantasy, whatever it is. And I think it's 200. I think you get to choose up to 200 keywords. So you can really, really market to people who you think are your ideal readers with a lot of keywords. And just if you search for books that are like yours, it's a good way to come up with keywords for your Amazon ads too. So I think Facebook and Amazon ads are going to be really continue to be big in 2018. I'm hoping that Amazon tweaks their responsiveness time for seeing like how many people clicked on your ad to compete with Facebook ads. But I mean, everybody's on Facebook. Everybody and their mom is on Facebook. So you've got a huge audience pool there. And then the people that you're targeting on Amazon with your ads, they're on Amazon. So, you know, it's about a 50-50 chance they're looking for a book if they're not looking for, I don't know, cookware or whatever. But, if they're looking for a book, your ad will come up, So, you're capturing people that have their credit card information stored on Amazon that can do that one click if they see your ad and it's compelling. So I think those two are going to be really big for the end of this year and 2018 too.
Thank you. I am a big fan of live streaming. I've been talking to my clients about it, and I've talked to other authors about it. But I just did a book festival this weekend, and the video part of it flopped. People are just not ready for video. And but I have learned when it comes to promotion that you have to get ready, or you will be left behind. And video is hot with the readerships. You have to, you have to know what they want, and they want it right now. They want to be in the space. They're not looking at simple posts anymore. You got to be able to grab their attention, and video is the way to do that. So I say to those who are listening to this, think about video in your promotion. All right, ladies, we are going to take a quick break, and then we'll get back with it. This episode's sponsor is Virtual Tea with LaShaunda, Promotion Strategy Session. Are you frustrated by your promotion? It's time for a promotion audit. Check the show notes for the link so you can schedule your promotion audit and get back on track to being a social bestseller. All right, welcome back to StoreMag's Writers Cafe. Today we're talking about how to sell ebooks. Our guests are Sylvia Hubbard and Kenesha Williams, and they are sharing some great tips about getting your book bought by the readers. I had a question, and I lost it with my other stuff that I was telling you about. I hate when I do that. I'll be so organized and then flip it over to the other side. Okay. I know. I wanted to talk about platforms. A lot of people are only on Amazon, and so I know Sylvia, she talks about Smashwords all the time. So when I became a published author, the first thing I wanted to do was learn about Smashwords. So what other platforms are you on, and what tips do you offer for these platforms?
Well, I am on Smashwords, and for ebooks, I'm on Smashwords and Amazon, and I kind of stick to those instead of going like people say, well, why don't you upload directly to iBooks or directly up to Barnes and Noble? And since I have over 40 books, I became like a pimp at the end of the month and started looking for my money. You're like, okay, did this report in? Did this report in? So I stayed on just the two platforms, and I've been very happy with the services, especially, as Smashwords has gone into the libraries. They've gone into better distribution in terms of other websites and things like that, and getting my book out there. So I've enjoyed the expanded distribution that they have added, and the ease of uploads and taking the EPUB format a lot better over the years. So those are the two platforms that I basically stay on. As for paperback, I do sway towards, a little bit of Create Space and Ingram Spark, depending upon the book.
I'm on Amazon, and for the books that I'm wide on, I use Draft to Digital. It's kind of like Smashwords in that it distributes to different store retailer sites. It distributes to iBooks. It distributes to Barnes and Noble and a few other ones that are smaller that I hadn't heard of, like Tolino and things like that. So I use that because it's like one and done. You just upload your book there, and then it'll distribute to all the different platforms. One of the things you have to make sure of is that if you're distributing to iBooks, it cannot have anything. It cannot say Amazon anything in it because they will kick your book back.
Right.
It can't have any Amazon links, because a lot of times in my back matter, I'll link back to my Amazon author page, but if you do that, iBooks kicks your book back. So that's one of the things I have to remember. So I use those two for distributing my books for retail. And then I also use Instafreebie, like I was saying. I have a few previews of different books on there as a reader magnet to get more people on my mailing list. So I use that as well. And I think that's it, yes. Oh, and I use, now I just forgot that. Oh, Gumroad, gumroad.com for the Black Girl Magic Literary Magazine. I use that as well to sell books there, too.
I've noticed a lot of people use Gumroad. I haven't checked that out. I'll have to put that on my to-do list. Sylvia, I know you use the Thunderclap. Can you explain that? Tell us a little bit about it. How did your thing go?
It was awesome. I was so overwhelmed with the love people gave me. Especially, it's a special shout out to Sharon Blount of Breb Readers Group. So Thunderclap is basically in thunderclap.it. So Thunderclap it. And what it is our social reach out promotions where you ask people to, hey, can I just borrow your social media for one time to send out a tweet, Facebook status message, or a Tumblr message. And people can literally, sign up for it and allow you for one time to push out a social message onto theirs at a certain date and time. You put the message in there, and if they agree to, hey, I want to send this message out to help you out, then that it's just set up. Once you sign up, set it up, you can forget it. And that's the best thing about it, is that people can sign up and then forget about it and don't even have to worry about it anymore. It'll send out at that certain time. So for my book Ravenous that had just come out, I wanted to get the word out to let more people know about it. But I kind of wanted it, of course, I wanted some cheerleaders to it. And I signed up for 100 people to, if 100 people could just say, hey, Sylvia's book is out, Sate Your Hunger with Ravenous. And, it was a quick, short, fun message. And actually I got over 120 people to sign up, which reached, with their combined reach, it was almost over 250,000 sent out. So that was kind of cool. And, the day it got sent out, it was really nice to see that bump in sales, because a lot of people were clicking into the link and everything and knowing about me. And not only did they know about me, of course, I sent them to the, straight to the Amazon page where they could just come in, buy the book, or find out more about me. So that really helped, because I got even some trickles into my website. I got trickles, some more Facebook followers, some more Twitter followers that day. So it was so beneficial to me to do, that little bump of, hey, let's shout it out and I need your help. So I love using Thunderclap as a way to, get the word out, get the sales bumped up. And you can use it as many times as you want. The free service only allows you to do it one time, one Thunderclap at a time. But actually the paid service, you can do multiple Thunderclaps. So, yeah, and you can use it for events that you have, books that you have, or just a moment that you just want to share out.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know they did events. I could have did the book festival. No next. That's good. So, what are your favorite ways to reach new readers?
My favorite way, of course, me, I love to live blog. And I found out that I garner more and more new readers by live blogging, and that's just for me writing a book straight off the top of my head on my website. So people come in and they see the chapters, and it's kind of like just reading a soap opera. So they come in and they actually read this story that I'm going through the motions of and joining in and commenting about the story, if they don't like it, if they hate it. But usually the story's kind of set with me, and reading their comments is encouraging, it's kind of like having those beta readers right in your ear as you're, like, writing the book. Like, hey, keep it going. Let me hear more. Oh, my God, this is amazing. So, and challenging myself to, hey, can you appease a beta reader, like, live? And I love doing that. And I get a lot of new readers from that, and they always get excited because I try to do it twice a year. I used to do it 3 times, but I was so mentally exhausted that I just had to turn it to twice a year. And that's been a great way for me my out-of-the-box way of getting readers.
That's a great idea, Sylvia. I like that idea. And like you were saying before about people really liking video now, that's great. I'm going to have to try that sometime. I think one of the ways that I've been getting new readers is doing online book fairs where there will be like a web page set up and people sign up in a certain genre, like it might be like all urban fantasy type of books, and there will be the image of the cover of the book and like a little blurb maybe and a title, and it'll be maybe like 25 to 50 of those books in that genre, and people can click on the links to either Amazon or to a platform like Instafreebie so that they can buy the book or read more if you have a preview up. And I've been garnering a lot more people onto my mailing list that way because I know that those are readers that really read in that genre because they're specifically going to that, I'm doing air quotes, you can't see, book fair online. And it reminds me of when I was a little kid, I loved book fairs. That was my favorite part of the school year is when they had book fairs. So I think the online book fairs are probably going to pick up more steam in 2018 as well. I know a lot of different authors are doing a lot of them now, and I think that's a great way to pick up new readers.
Yeah.
Is that a paid promotion?
There are some people, they have the book fairs and it's paid, and it's usually really something small like $5, but then there are others that just do it for free because on their website they use the Amazon affiliate link, so if someone buys that book they get a little kickback that way. So different people do them different ways, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got a notice from someone who was doing one that was on their website. I have attended a lot of the book fairs on Facebook. And I've got a bump in my sales that way. So I was looking at that as a different way to promote. So I like book fairs too.
Yeah, and a lot of times the authors will all promise to pick a day to advertise the book fair to their mailing list too. So if I have a mailing list and my mailing list is only at like 800 or 1,000, but somebody else in the book fair has like a $15,000 member mailing list, you're getting access to their readers as well. So a lot of times that'll be one of the caveats. They'll say, do you promise to, publicize the book fair in your mailing list? And everybody will check yes. So if you have 20 different authors, and let's say everybody, even if everybody only has like 200, you're still, multiplying that reach by 20.
Yeah. That's a good idea. What advice would you offer to an author whose book isn't selling?
For an author, I usually go through that beginning author checklist again with the author because there's usually something that they didn't set up for them not to sell any book. And that includes like how their website is set up, getting a link set up to where to buy the book, make sure excerpts are there on their website, and doing that kind of pre-promo checklist. And you can even use it as an after-promo checklist if your book is already out. So I always go through that with them. And there's usually one thing that they didn't do where the reader just dropped off where they didn't want to, especially when it comes to excerpts and it comes to the pre-promo kind of newsletters that they can send out, or the blog posts they could be doing, or even the social media touches that they should be adding, to their weekly promotional schedules. So it's usually something, some link, some excerpt, or some kind of promo that they are not doing. Because if you should be, and on a realistic basis, you should be selling it at least one book a day. At least one book a day. If you are really a serious author and you have set yourself up for it, you should be at least doing one book a day.
I think I would also say look at your cover, look at your blurb, because people really do judge a book by its cover. So if the cover doesn't look professional or doesn't look enticing or doesn't match the genre it's supposed to be, that might be turning readers off. And then if your cover does bring them in, but then when they read the blurb, and some people try to summarize their whole book in a blurb, and that's not the best way to do a blurb, especially not anymore with the internet generation. You want it to make it almost like an advertisement, and you want to entice them to buy the book. I know I'm seeing a lot of people do blurbs where they're doing it in the voice of the main character, like the main character's talking to you about what's going on. I know that pulls some people in. You want to also see how the blurb looks on the website. There is you can use HTML to format, so maybe your first line of your blurb, maybe it's bold to catch their eye. And so I would say those are the first two things I would check to see if you're not selling, because those are the first two things that I think readers make a decision on whether they're going to buy the book or not.
Right. And a little tip to that, if you really can't think of a blurb or something to come up with, go to your Amazon reviews and kind of sometimes even take blurbs right there from readers. Like that'll equal literally almost 120 characters you can just post out. It says, this book I could not put down, something like that. If you can't come up with your own, you can just use your readers that have already given you the blurbs.
Yeah, sometimes they do give you word for word what you want to say, because sometimes your blurb might be too boring.
Right.
They just skip over it and keep on, but you get somebody who's actually read the book, and you can say, well, this person said, and then you grab their attention, and you're like, oh, okay, good. What are your favorite tools for promoting?
The favorite Hootsuite has been the most awesomest, best tool that I could ever use or ever refer anybody to. And I'm not even getting paid by Hootsuite to say it. But anytime I've taken on a client, anytime I've talked in front of people, that has been the go-to of you have no excuse not to market or promote your book if you have Hootsuite. You can use it on the computer, on the phone, on the tablet. You could sit there for 3 hours on a Sunday and just do a whole 2 months of great promotions, including YouTube and Instagram, just using your Hootsuite. So there's no excuse why no one should be promoting, and there's no excuse why anybody should be not using Hootsuite and getting stuff out.
I hope everybody that I talk to hears this, because I am a Hootsuite woman, and I tell people all the time, they always try to tell me they don't have time to promote, and I said, you don't need but 15 minutes. You can go on Hootsuite in 15 minutes and have a whole day scheduled, and you can go on about your business.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go with Facebook. I'm going to go with Facebook because that's where you can have an author page. You can have a Facebook group related to your books for your ravenous fans, and you can talk about your books and talk about your inspiration for books and really build a community with your readers. And you can also do your Facebook ads. So I'm going to go with Facebook is my favorite.
That's a good one, too. I love Facebook. It's one of my favorite places, too. I have noticed, because as a person who is always looking for new authors, my first thing to do is to Google them and look and see if I can find their website. And I've noticed that a lot of new authors are not investing in websites. How do you feel about that?
I hate it because you're giving Mark Zuckerberg a lot of money, and you're giving like all the guys at Twitter or all the guys, even Jeff Bezos, you're giving him the majority share of the money, and you need money. You need just a little, you need the foot traffic. And you want to be able to have a store 24/7 where people can find you and where all the information about you is in one place. Having a website, and literally to have a website, you can just use even WordPress.com. It's little to no money to set up a website with 4 pages, about page, a main page, a blog page, and a contact page, where you can have your books posted, you can have information about you, events coming up. I mean, it's little to no money to run this page. You get great search engine optimization from it, and you can connect it to your social media, which you should just basically be using like breadcrumbs to get them back in, signing up for your newsletter, and getting the word out even better towards your audience and be able to control your audience. Because, independence is just key for me. Having the control that you need, because you don't know. At one moment, Facebook could go down or your page could be deleted. Then what? Or Twitter could go down or your page could be deleted. And then what? How do you reach that audience? And I know you say that a lot. You say that question at least about 4 times a year, LaShaunda. If things happen, how do you reach your readers? And a lot of them don't even come back and answer you because they literally don't have a way. But you would think if somebody's questioning you 4 times, you would just say, okay, maybe I do need a website. But it's just it's an excuse that people have where it's too complicated or anything. But it's just that's my pet peeve. As you can see, I'm starting to preach about it, because you should have that. You should have somewhere, one place people can go to find you, and to create that search engine optimization for the search engines to find you easy. Because you want, if somebody put in your page, you want your website to come up first. You don't want Facebook or Amazon or anything to come up first. You want your page to come up first, because you want people to know, this is me. I'm a serious author. Take me serious, and you should support me and buy my books. And that's all I'm preaching about.
I was going to say, I think she said it all.
I'm sorry. I get preachy when it comes to websites. Just go get one. Stop playing around, please.
I am so like that. I have 3 things: your home base, you have to have your mailing list, and you need to know who your readers are. Those are 3 things that you need to be successful as a writer. And so many people they don't have none of them. And then they come to me and they go, I said, well, who's your book for? Everybody. Oh, Lord, we're going to have fun. So, because they don't know who their readers are. And somebody posted this weekend that Facebook was, if you are using your Facebook page, not the page, your profile, to promote your business or anything else, that they're just deleting people. And that kind of scared me, because I am the promoting queen. And I was thinking, oh my God, what would it? But I have 2 websites. I have StoreMag and I have my website. So I was like, and I have a mailing list. So I was like, you know what? I'm okay. If they say you done, LaShaunda, with Facebook, I can move on, and I won't be over here crying, going, oh, I have 4,000 people on there, but hey, most of the people that's on there are on my mailing list. So hey, somebody will sit on there and say, hey, LaShaunda got kicked off. Come on up to her page.
Right.
But it's so many people that don't, and Facebook is in control. As a matter of fact, during the book festival, one of the ladies, she contacted me and she said, I'm on Facebook jail. And I'm like, what does that mean? And she's like, I can't make any comments. So she was supposed to have been on our panel, and she couldn't make comments because she was on lockdown for 16 days. And I'm like, how could, that's too much control over you where somebody can tell you can't come on nothing on their page.
Right.
But it's their page. It's their page, and that's, you're on lockdown, and so that's how come I post that question all the time, because it's so many people who they have not. I've used Blogger for years. I still use Blogger for Sormeg's blog. I love it. Every time I think about moving it, I'm like, no, it's easy. I just leave it here. But so many people think they got to pay for a website so they won't get it. You can get on Blogger for free. You can buy your domain, and don't nobody need to know it's you on Blogger but you. And so many people, when you say, what's your web page? Oh, Facebook. And I go, oh, man, if Facebook kicks you off, you in trouble. And they don't have a mailing list, so there's no way to tell them. And I use an example. It was a big Facebook page. They had millions of followers. And the person who held it, she did something wrong, and she's done something wrong before. She had posted something before, so they gave her warnings not to do the stuff that she was doing. And they kicked her off. Kicked her completely off Facebook, and she didn't have a website at all. She had 1 million-something followers and no way to get in contact with them. No mailing list, nothing, because she used Facebook as her home base. If you got 1 million followers, I'm going to need y'all to be on my mailing list.
Thank you.
Yes.
Give me $1, just everybody.
Yes. I was teasing up Facebook this week. I said, me and my husband want to go to the Tom Joyner cruise. It's like $4,000. So I was like, I got 4,000 people on here. If everybody send me $1, I can go. But, when you got that many followers and you have no way of getting in contact with them other than Facebook, that's not good. That's not good at all, because they still are in control. And and then also I talk to people because you got these many people, but how many people is Facebook letting you see your promotion? I talk to people and they go, oh, well, I promote on Facebook and Facebook only. Well, if you're only talking to 10 people every day, that's all who's going to see your promotion.
And Facebook's making it harder too for people to see what you're posting. If you have a page, that's why there's all those buttons saying, do you want to boost this post? Because trust me, all those people that follow your page aren't seeing it anymore because Facebook wants their money.
Yeah, they want them. It's all about money. And so if you're not, I use an example all the time of my husband. My husband, he probably had maybe 200 followers to my 4,000. And so he'll post something. He goes, did you see what I posted today? And I start laughing. And he goes, what? I said, babe, the only way I'm going to see is you tag me. There's no way that's getting in my feed. The people competing with you trying to get in my feed, And so it's so hard. And if you're not boosting posts, then no, nobody's going to see. If you got 200 people on your fan page, probably 20 people see your stuff. That's it. Yeah. So if you're not paying for advertisement, then you, like you say, Sylvia, your goal, I tell new people, your goal should be, sell at least 1 book a day. You're getting in front of somebody. If you're not selling any books, something has to give. You got to do something different. You can't keep posting and thinking you're going to sell books. If that didn't work last month, I'm going to need you to pop it up a little bit more and do something different this month. But people continue to do the same thing, buy my book, and then they're not getting any sales. And you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting better results. It's not going to happen.
Definitely.
So, it's not. Man, our time is almost up. This was great. I took some notes, and I'm going to listen to this again because I'm going to be ready for my release. Hey. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing
no problem
about how to sell an ebook. I hope the people listening to this will take your advice and get out there, and hopefully all of us next year in 2018 will be getting, what's his name, Mark Zuckerberg royalty check.
Yes. That would be nice.
I want to come in PayPal. Ding, the PayPal blinging every day. You know, that's what I want. So tell us how we can get in touch with you. Give us your home base and your social media.
Okay, so of course my home base is my website, and that would be sylviahubbard.com. And, you know, I also run the Motown Writers Network, so if you are a Michigan author or reader, you can always check us out at MotownWriters.com, and I'm available on social media. Facebook at Sylvia Hubbard. You can find me there, or you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I do some great videos on out-of-the-box marketing that I just implore everyone to just go watch and get some ideas. And if you want me to do some great videos, you can always make suggestions throughout there. So you can find me, Sylvia Hubbard, across the board. I'm always at the top of the list. So, yes, definitely just check out Sylvia Hubbard all throughout the board.
And you can find me on my website. It's KeneshaWilliams.com. And you can also see if I'm popping up at a convention near you soon, because I do like to go to conventions probably about 4 times a year. So I'm crisscrossing across the U.S. And I've just started a website called Write Like a Mother, but it's MUTHA, specifically for moms who are writers, because I know what that life is like. So you can find me on those 2 websites, and I'm on Facebook. You can search my name, Kenesha Williams, and I'm on Twitter at Kenesha_W.
Can you, I didn't get a chance to ask you to tell us about your current book.
Okay, so currently now I am actually working on my 6th standalone saga for the Black Family series. And it's called Black's Innocence, and I'm hoping this is the last cousin. But currently that's what I'm working on. That'll start as a live story starting in December. So I invite people to come sign up and register for the book and get to reading and having fun in December and ringing the new year with Black's Innocence.
And the latest thing I've done is I'm in a paranormal box set called Something Wicked This Way Comes. It's only on Amazon, but it's on Kindle Unlimited, so you can read for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. And if you go to my author page, it's listed on there.
All right. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate this. I would like to thank our sponsor for this episode, Virtual Tea with LaShaunda, Promotion Strategy Sessions. Check the link in the show notes to order your promotion audit. I want to thank you, ladies, for being a part of the Sormag's Writers Cafe. I want to thank you, our listeners, for taking time to listen to the podcast. Please feel free to write a review and let me know what you think of this episode. Please share the podcast with your community. If you have a topic you want us to discuss in the cafe or would like to sponsor an episode, send to onesormag@gmail.com. This is LaShaunda Hoffman, and I will see you on the next.